Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Gears Pro League as I am here with the magnificent Colin the Crow Clark today because...
Muted in Discord?
Am I? Oh. You know what? No wonder why you ain't been talking to me. Colin, I miss you.
I would never have that much disrespect for you. Gun to my head, God at my doorstep, Colin disrespect Blaze. I said, you sending me to Satan right now?
Oh, you know, I was talking to the voice of God the whole time, and he doesn't even hear us through Discord. So it even dawned on me as I was stuffing my face with pizza. All right, because I needed my calories today, you know, so we can have a great cast. You know, Toby drained me. Toby drained me yesterday. He was too much, all right? Too much
matches should have drained you. I saw a couple of good matches yesterday, just getting my best view and eyes on everything yesterday. So y'all really put in some work yesterday. It's gonna be hard to follow that up. I'm gonna do my damnedest stuff.
Oh, but you know what? We're gonna start the broadcast off with some positivity. Colin, I got something to show you. I came home after so long and I saw this.
Do I have a new growth? Yeah!
Look at the crow's nest. Look at the crow's nest. Look how long that is, bro.
That's the longest I've ever been. That is the biggest and longest I've ever been, Blake.
That was not there when we first named the plant.
Unbelievable. Good gracious.
I just want you to know.
I love that. Look, I'm flourishing out here. You are flourishing.
Okay. Well, it's time to catch a stride and start flourishing here on the broadcast to get everyone up to date on what you missed out on. As Colin said, we had a close one. It was a lot of close matchups. Every series going the distance, at least 4 maps at minimum. And we saw a few epic game 5s that we honestly weren't expecting. Any surprises there for you, Colin?
How do I put this? I don't think it was any surprise that we got a lot of good games. Teams are going to be catching up. The biggest surprise to me, though, is how dominant Queso was a lot of the times over Digital Slayers. I thought Digital Slayers was going to keep it a lot more close. I thought they were going to be able to push Team Queso to the brink. But Northern Forces, they're going to be right there at the door against just about anybody in the entire league. That's no surprise. Pittsburgh Knights and Rebel, that went down to the wire in most of its maps. So 3-1 isn't necessarily a surprise to me there. Fury won, great job by them, but Pioneers, I'm hoping to see them continue to round out into better in form.
I agree with you. I do want to see the Pioneers kind of round out in that better form, and they definitely got the skills to do it. You know, Pioneers, they will, you know, consider to beat themselves for the most part rather than get beat sometimes, but none of that. PK at the top of the leaderboard, 3-0. Also, Rise and Pioneers, both 3-0 at the top of the board. So tonight, oh man, I can't wait for you guys to see the schedule because we're going to have a tiebreaker between 2 of those 3 teams. You'll see it in just a bit. The United at 2-1, Rebels at 2-1. I was telling Toby yesterday, man, even though those teams at the bottom are 0-3, Colin, I think over at least the next 3-4 days, we're going to see them start getting some wins and everything get mixed up a bit.
Yeah, we're going to get to see a big seismic shift, both at the top and the bottom of these standings, because all of a sudden we're going to start getting those matchups where these teams are going to have to play each other. So you're going to get guaranteed shifts, but you're also getting to see much better and better versions. That's one of the things that people forget about Gears. Gears is a very much rep game. Gears is a lot like going to the gym. You can't take a break, a hiatus, and go back and put your max weight back on the bar, baby. You got to work back up to it. Gears has always been that type of game. You got to go back to the gym each and every day, keep putting more and more weight on until you kind of max out. You find that comfort zone. You start to be your best self.
And you know what? And I love that analogy. And, you know, we see a lot of our teams in that exact situation continuing to just get reps in, okay, and getting tougher reps every given time and evolving into the best possible team they can be in. So let's take a look at today's schedule. And as I was saying, Rise versus Pioneers. It was 2 of those 3 teams at the top. One has to get a loss, and it's going to be epic to see how that one breaks down. Because I know for the Pioneers, no matter how their other matches went, this is the one that they want to win. They want to beat the defending champions in Pro League. This was probably one of the first matches, if not the first, that they saw when they were looking at the schedule. Now, just before that, we also got 2 other bangers coming up. Rebel versus Team Queso, and then Pittsburgh Knights going up against Northern Forces, Colin.
So I got a little piece of inside information about that second matchup, and I just want to throw it out there for everybody. Right before I came over to the broadcast, as you know, I like to stream before I cast gear, so I like to be in a nice rhythm with the game. I got the chance to play some ranked with Cells from Northern Forces, and Cells put me on a spot He asked me who I was picking, and when I told him, he said, "Don't worry, baby, I'm gonna clip this. I'll be back. You'll hear about it later."
Okay.
I said, okay.
He said he gonna clip it. All right.
He gonna let me know. He gonna let me know.
We gonna be here for it, okay? We here for it, Colin. We would show us something. Show us something. Now I gotta show y'all the side station match. As Cassidy Papel going up against Fury 1 is gonna be a great one. Then you got E United versus Digital Slayers. I'll tell you one thing, man. Don't sleep on Digital Slayers, all right? And we already probably, deciding who may come out on top of that one. We're not gonna jump the gun because I'll tell you one thing. Digital Slayers, they put up a fight yesterday when it came to Team Queso. Actually, in watching that series, I think it was a lot closer than the 3-1 scoreline that we saw. And I actually remember telling Toby, I said, it doesn't matter at the end of the day because people are going to look at that scoreline and be like 3-1. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to showcase. It doesn't matter if it's close or not. You got to come out with the dub. So we'll see what they can do today. The first series, as we can start talking about it, Team Queso versus Rebel. This is going to be not as, I don't think it's clear cut for anyone in the chat. I don't think it's clear cut for us on which way we want to go. Let's start breaking it down from the beginning. Starting with Team Rebel. You got Monkyz, Crack, Kardia, and Xploidz. The new look Team Rebel this season. Currently sitting at 2-1 in the Pro League. This team has a lot of growth, I think. They're gonna grow a lot during this Pro League. A new formed roster, but a team full of veterans, Colin.
Well, I look at it this way. The thing that they got when they brought Monkyz over from the Pittsburgh Knights and traded away Identives is while they lowered their overall top end, their overall ceiling, because you put Xploidz and Identives on the same squad with Crack, you're going to have one of the highest ceilings on planet Earth.
True.
But what they bring over is a guy that just raises the floorboards. You might not necessarily be living in the mansion, but your butt has got 4 bedrooms and 3.5 baths. You living nice right now because Monkyz brings you a great level of consistency. He brings you a great level of just competent gameplay. He might not ever pop off in the ways that you might have seen Identives pop off, but each and every map, he's making your life hard. He's making the opposing team keep note of where he is around the map, and he's allowing players like Xploidz and Crack those openings that they might have missed with an Identives, because Identives is another one of those alpha males, another one of those wolves that can go out and eat a whole pack of sheep by himself. Whereas Monkyz, he opens the gate. He lets you into the sheep, and he's gonna let you feast.
You just pretty much said that Monkyz feel like home. Okay, that Monkyz feels like dad, like dad's around you at all times, okay? No matter what's gonna happen, dad's gonna be there for advice. Dad gonna be there to open up the door. Dad gonna have my back. So Monkyz, he is an anchor for that team, and we'll see how far he can take Rebel during his Pro League. But on the flip side, Team Queso looking spicier this season because of that man on your left. SuMuNs have joined the roster. Cristalize, Sleeafer, and Problems is going to be rounding out the team. And this Team Queso squad, they push a lot of other teams out there to the distance to the map 5. And, ultimately at the end of the day, I think that, one person on this team who probably doesn't get enough love has to be Problems, okay? Problems does so much for the squad and allows Sleeafer to be able to go out there and kind of slay.
Yeah, Problems to me gives that, he's basically a secondary wide receiver. He's one of those guys that he might not take the top off of defense. He might not bring a secondary safety onto his side of the field. But Problems opens things up a lot for a guy like Sleeafer. They bring SuMuNs into the mix, and what SuMuNs is going to do is basically control the angle of attack. He's going to say, guys, let's shift this way, let's shift that way. Do not forget that SuMuNs spent a lot of time under that knowledge tree that was a guy like Explosive, like Ashes at coach. He got to learn how to win championships consistently and often. He goes over to LATAM, spends a lot of time with the Pittsburgh Knights, and learns to play that little faster pace, a little more punchy style. So I think there's a chance that SuMuNs being added to this roster with the Problems and a Sleeafer, they really can just control pacing against teams. They can speed it up, they can pump the brakes and slow it down. That's why I think SuMuNs added into this roster with Problems this split has been a really great combination for Queso.
I agree with that. Being able to just play at multiple different paces. He is a plethora of knowledge, and SuMuNs has been a part of a lot of great teams. And he's gonna, he's gonna help make Team Queso the best version that squad can be, and bring out the best in those players. So let's take a look at the pick band in our series for Rebel and Team Queso. When it comes down to Control, Spire, and District won't be played. You move on over to Execution, Tomb, and Afira, bye-bye. And then finally, the Escalation Vascar won't be in the mix either. So, right off the start, anything that you are, surprised to see get banned, Colin?
No Vascar. I usually just expect to see Vascar 100 out of 100 times when it comes to Pro League. Everybody just loves to play it, so I'm glad that we're going to probably get to see. I'm hoping we get to see a Harbor pick there.
I think a Harbor will be in here.
But for Control, Rebel auto-banning out what they used to auto-pick Inspire, so I'm thinking we're going to start things off hot and heavy with a Reactor or a Ritual. We start with the Ritual. There's the Clocktower that I was assured we were going to see.
Training room.
TG over Harbor, and there's the Reactor. I said Ritual and Reactor were our two Control maps. I'm spot on with that, but I was wrong with the Escalation. But this is a good little cycle. The thing that's going to be the interesting thing to me is Team Queso, I think, wants to make it to that Canals, whereas Rebel picks Canals. I think Queso's win route ends up in that map 5 because they've got great front spawn players. They've got great angles of attack with Sleeafer and Problems up there in the front, so I think Canals might even favor them.
Yeah, I agree with you that their route to winning will be in 5 games, okay? If not, they're going to have to take 2, 3, and 4. 2, 3, and 4, because I think Rebel can come away with this map 1. I think they're the better team on Ritual. Rebel, this is a team who I feel like can also end this out in 4. If we go to that map 5, I'll honestly be surprised. But so because of that, I think map 2 is the given. That's going to be the game changer. Who comes away with it? That in the training grounds, we'll see. We'll see. It's a nice little cycle though. Rebel, I got Rebel on executions. I got Rebel on both executions. I got them for the Clocktower. I got them for the Canals. I think they're going to be very aggressive in those snipe lanes, and they're going to let Xploidz put on a montage and have a field day. Did you see the clip? Did you see the clip he posted on the TM?
Everybody afraid of me, Xploidz.
Boy.
You know what the difference is, though, Blaze? People are seeing that's how they want to play it. They're understanding that that's what Rebel's going to go for, and I think their job, especially if you're Team Queso tonight, you want to go ahead and make note of taking care of that sniper, getting up into the long shot lane, making sure you angle it out. I mean, Blaze, I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah.
Think about it this way. You're taking SuMuNs, you're taking the team playing against SuMuNs on Clocktower when SuMuNs might have been the best back pillar player toward the end of UE that we could have gotten.
Okay. Hey, you know what? I got some new intel coming in. All right.
Okay.
And so the chat knows
is that from
well.
Control?
Chat gonna make their predictions, and they not gonna hear this to afterwards. But we ain't got no Monkyz today. We got Reflame on the sub.
Oof.
We got Reflame coming in on the substitution.
Are you allowed to change? Are you allowed to switch?
I am changing my pick. I don't care what nobody say. I am changing my pick, okay? I don't care what nobody say. And with that being said, we can go into the pick bands right now, all right? We can hop right into it. Because I will continue to go on and say that I wanted to pick Rebel for this series, okay? I was 10 toes down for Rebel. I felt like they were going to be the better team up against Team Queso. I liked them in the executions. I liked them in the controls. I think that the escalation is going to be 50-50 with both these rosters, but not having Monkyz and having Reflame in the mix as that substitution, I can't put my caster record on the line in this one confidently, okay? I will be so sour throughout the rest of the night if I was to lose. So with that being said, I'm going with the full roster of Team Queso today because they should win, all right? They shouldn't be losing against a team with any subs, all right? Especially the way that Colin's about to gas them. Continue.
Oh, without a doubt. Look, earlier today, I was looking at this matchup when they first put the predictions in our chat. The voice of God said, I need them quick. I've been trying to hop on that. I've been trying to set the pace for the first person to respond with my predictions. I've been going with my gut again. I'm just letting my gut make the decision. I was looking at all the possible match. Yeah, that's fine. He can do whatever he wants, but for now, I'm trying to lead it out here. I looked at every possible map, and I thought I broke it down. I said enough in my head. I said, if we go Clocktower, SuMuNs has still got a pretty decent amount of movement on him, and he's one of the best pack pillar players in history, in my opinion. The way that he can cook you at the long shot and probably move up quicker than you're ready for, quicker than a hiccup. I was looking at maps. I was looking at maps like Ritual. I said, man, they're going to rotate around pretty quickly. They're going to allow Sleeafer and Problems to kind of control the hill area, and they're going to let Cristalize and SuMuNs control the spawn points. They're going to let them take 1Vs. They're going to let them take, that extra angle to try to get into the side of the 45. I kept thinking to myself, what's taking me so long?
Yeah.
It's Queso. It was Queso 7 hours ago. It's Queso now that I know Reflame's playing. I'm taking cheese all day. I'm getting the wife to make me 5 cheese layered burrito dip, baby. I'm about to be dipping some Fritos in that bad boy. I'm gonna be, yo, it's a good thing ain't nobody in this room with
dip. Got Monterey, okay? Got cheddar. Got queso. All right? You got pepper jack.
Colby Jack.
All right? Colby Jack. Parmesan. Okay? It's funky. All right? And Team Queso today about to get funky on a broadcast. And I think we're all aligned. Chat, who would you like to go with here as we're going to start shutting down these predictions? I think chat's upset. You know, chat, they're going to go with Rebel. Yeah, chat don't care. You know, they don't care about who's playing on Rebel because they're just Rebel fans. Ain't that right, chat? Yeah. All right? It ain't about, you know, strategy or nothing like that. But this is your opportunity to get a leg up on everybody. If Rebel do come out on top, we commend you all. Also, it'll be a deep conversation to have, too, as well. I'm pretty sure we'll be talking a lot about Reflame and his performance. So it's time to head into map number 1. It's Ritual Control. And Colin, for all the new fans out there, what should they expect from a map like Ritual Control?
Ritual Control, ladies and gentlemen, it's first team to 300. Each hill spawns up with a 70-point cap that you could get every single one of those if you were to get there and stay there without anybody contesting it or keeping it neutralized. Ritual, very CQC bound as it's a lot of tight hallways, a lot of cubby corners, and very close range when it comes to those 4 corner hills. You've got to be aware of where the respawns are at all times to make sure you keep your head on a swivel, keep the spawns out, and keep everybody off kilter.
You heard it there, folks. There's going to be a headbanger. Rebel versus Team Queso. Let's get it started. Going to be kicking this one off with, I think, Xploidz himself as he's going to walk in and just be gifted the torque bow. Picks it up, backs up. Couldn't get the quick stick, but a great flash off the start to be able to pick it up with such confidence. You can tell that that play has been ran 1,001 times and well designed at that, but 1 bow left in the chamber. He's going to have to at least get some splash damage. His teammate able to confirm the kill over the top of the cover. Sleeafer by himself, Colin, as he gets taken out. It's going to be Rebel off the start with control.
Rebel's going to be leaning hard into Crack and Xploidz to kind of make plays early, get into the face of members of Team Queso, make them very uncomfortable. We're going to see Xploidz to the backside of the hill. Reflame's going to take over the front side. I like what Reflame is doing here. He's basically keeping this 45-degree angle, so if anybody comes to the front, he's got his number hidden. If anybody tries to rotate straight into him, he's going to get that first shot. Second shot towards SuMuNs. Won't be able to hit. SuMuNs are going to continue to roll back toward his teammates. Got the help, got the kills. They're going to be able to get the hill momentarily, but Crack, he's going to be happy to take that extra shot and rotate out toward P2's respawn area.
And, you know, we got Crack here having to go up against his old duo on Reflame. You know, I feel like they were always teammates back in the day and, you know, really making a name for themselves as, you know, upcoming Latin American superstars in the esport. And so it's going to be, I know it's fun for Reflame to play up against him. And now, as, well, not play up against him, but play with him again. So now as you got the duo back together, Reflame, as he is going to be taking some damage here towards the spawn. He gets into a battle with SuMuNs as he is being forced back. You got Team Queso doing a great job wrapping around the spawn, Colin, and they're taking their time with it, and it's forcing Rebel to have to just move themselves out of these positions as Team Queso finally confirming the kills. They'll pick up 2. Crack, can he get it done? Xploidz, I mean, he cannot. Team Queso collected on time.
Problems did an incredible job right there, using his movement to basically keep himself just outside of 1-shot chunk range, keep his opponent guessing, and keeping his opponent on that cubby. There was nowhere for him to go, nowhere for him to hide. Rebel's going to get the new respawn on the Torpo. Crack's going to have it in his hands. He's going to start revving up the first shot here in just a moment with the active now, and maybe splash damage towards Sleeafer. Doesn't even get the splash damage. Beautiful movement, beautiful play, and beautiful read by Sleeafer, and he gets the kill. Now Crack in a 2v1 situation, backside of the pillar. Gonna get 1, looking for more. He's full red, double bounce. He gets 2 with the ease. Crack holds on to the torque bows and says, boy, I've got it. Don't you worry about it. I'm gonna rotate over to P3.
A beautiful, oh, it was a good flash on the ground, but it wasn't enough to get the stun off and be able to get out of dodge or create something out of nothing. Ultimately, Crack has the bow in hand, and Rebel will be a full 4 once again. Queso wrapping around through the spawn. Crack active in the chamber. He's just going to back up a bit. He gets marked. Team Queso knows that he has the bow as well. With the smoke landing at the top of the stairs, Crack misses the first. It gets the call out that multiple players up the stairs. He puts one on the ground and a beautiful placement from it. One more charged up. It connects as well. Cristalize left in the corner. Almost takes one to the grave. Crack! Couldn't get it done. Cristalize, last man standing. Here comes Kardia. And here comes reinforcements as well. A 3v2 for Team Queso. Free flame. Can't make it. He stays alive. A beautiful stun from Kardia. It buys time for the flank as Xploidz will save the day. Rebel, they're thriving.
Yeah, continuing to stay alive in this situation. 50 seconds to go. Plenty of time for them to be able to get the lead with this next rotation. You see here, it's going to be Team Queso going on the retake here. Lancer fire out by Xploidz. I love the position toward the back pillar. Here comes the first flash. They're going to get that down. Kardia's going to go in for that first chunk. Gets the up fade for the first kill. Now gets the big shot on the problem. SuMuNs has to turn and try to burn. But Kardia was the linchpin, ladies and gentlemen. Capitalizing on the first down. Turning and burning problems. Keeping SuMuNs out of a defensive position. They get 4. They were looking for more. They're going to hold on to this hill and get the lead as well.
My man Reflame, you know, I know the bright lights of the Pro League, boy, it can be a little nerve-wracking here, but he's holding his own. Best as he can, 7 assists to his name. Being the ultimate support for his squad as they are working together quickly. Rebel being there to trade out and finish these kills for each other. Now you see Team Queso charging on over towards P4, as Kardia with the torque bow couldn't catch problems as he was sliding across the cover. Still has 3 to work with. An active in the chamber. He's going to wait for the next active.
He's looking for this back player, I think. He has to try to get a shot towards SuMuNs at the backside of this hill. If you can get to the top of that corner. Oh, he went to the bottom. That's a very hard shot to even get the splash damage on. If he'd have stayed up top, he might have gotten it to stick from the top. Problems, once again, the longer problems alive, the harder it is for the teammates inside of the hill. You can see the cleanups come through. It's a 2v2 now on the map. First
Crack gets 2! Or was it 1?
A monster.
He truly is. Especially with him and his duo back in the same lobby together, okay?
Crack Kardia to save him.
The timing from it. Kardia, always there when you need him. Now, it's Rebel collecting on time, getting their first lead change of the game. As they're going to start moving in. They're going to wipe Team Queso. Now they have to double back and get the spawns for next. Since they press forward to clean up those kills, Team Queso behind them. P5 is going to the top right hand of the mini-map at Tiki. Problems on the flank. A great stun. He couldn't hit the second shot, but he holds his ground on the third. He holds his 4th shot as well. Not missing now. And his teammates able to come through and clean up. Team Queso, they should be able to get the lead back. I do believe they just got the nades. New torque bolt gonna be in the hands of Crack. As Rebel move it in for P5, Colin.
We're going to flip this over to Crack now with the torque boat. Tries to get the shot on the SuMuNs. Won't be able to get the first one. Looking for a shot now on the Problems. Won't be able to find that one either. Tagged up from both ends. 3 in the front, 1 in the back. Good shot there on the SuMuNs. Gets the kill onto him. Now trying to get the active onto Problems. Problems going to bounce up into the pillar. Try to get at least 1 down. He's going to get that down. Crack is right there, though, for the revive. And they get the secondary kill, and they clean up the other side of the map. That's a beautiful sit-down defense by Rebel. The way that they were in that position first, ready to roll, and they end up coming away with all the kills. Crack with that torque bow has pretty much demanded the attention for his squad.
Top 3 in the game with him, honestly, and I'll debate anybody about it. Flame, re-up on a kill, takes down Sleeafer. It's a 4v2 situation as Rebel collapses around Team Queso. Reflame with a beautiful angle, getting a lot of shots in. Getting that extra damage on Problems. Problems comes away with another kill. And that could be problematic. Sleeafer, they didn't see him. He'll stay in his position. Crack. He get caught slipping. Can he stay alive? He can't. And now Team Queso can immediately get back in his heal. Sleeafer knows he has a 1v1, at least a 1v2. He has to take it, has to contest the heal. And just that quickly, Team Queso on the offensive. Off the back of Problems. Getting some key kills at the end of the team fight, and then a quick response from Sleeafer to get in, make a play. Team Queso should be able to drain this heal out and get an early rotation towards next. SuMuNs has to go. He knows it. Problem's gonna spawn up on the opposite end of the map, but they're debating if they even want to go. He just needs to rotate now. That's scrap.
Are they waiting? Yeah, they're waiting on the torque bow. That's why they were so indecisive early. They were so indecisive because they don't want to give up another free torque bow over to Crack. They're going to be waiting in this cubby. Problems is about to get absolutely flanked, though. He's going to try to maybe take one player with him. That's going to be Crack. He gets the down. He can't get the finish, though. And now it puts Rebel into the power position yet again. They're going to have the new torque bow. They're going to be able to rotate over toward that next hill, toward that final point before the re-rotation back over to the altar. Everybody is stacked up over here. Now it's just going to be a matter of time before Reflame tries to get a shot on with his torque bow. Trying to add to his at least his kill stat line, but he doesn't really need much because that 17 assists are impressive.
Very impressive indeed. Now, Reflame, as he is joining the fight back with the team, he gets another down. Sleeafer cleaned up. That is an impressive stat line if you ask me, Colin. Still a positive KDA. He's getting the job done, putting out a lot of damage. He's going to have to move in and clean up this kill. He shall. And he's going to have some help from Kardia on a revive and a cleanup. Rebel looking really good. I probably still could have stuck with him on my vote if this is how they was going to play, but I ain't chancing it. No, not me.
Why would you chance it? Why would you chance it with your already pristine record, my man? You don't need to put that
pristine indeed, right? It's something. I'm taking pride in this last split with it, okay? I'm getting the full Gears esports experience as our players are out here putting on a show. Reflame, I know he's happy to be back on the main stage for this final split. Be back on the broadcast in front of the fans to show him what he can do. Xploidz taking out Team Queso. They'll be able to collect on the rest of this hill time, and there's not much they can get. They got to get ready for our second rotation as they're going to already be sending 3 players towards that side of the map. And who was at the top of the leaderboard, Colin? I was cracked there for 16 kills.
I was more concerned with SuMuNs. SuMuNs is in the starting lineup and is suffering right now. He is absolutely getting shredded by a lot of these players from Rebel and has to be able to pick it up. Doesn't even have the double-digit assist mark. Doesn't have the double-digit of damage. He's got to be able to find some help for his teammates somewhere on the map to give them some kind of worth out of his play, because right now
it ain't a lot.
Him getting tortured is not helping his teammates. That's why they're down by 60 points or so.
Yeah, SuMuNs need to increase his damage output because his teammates are feeling that pressure. As you're going to see, Crack gets himself another torque bow. And I know it's funny because I'm pretty sure they have an agreement, Colin, that, you know, Crack, he gets the bow, Xploidz gets the sniper, okay? No ifs, ands, or buts about it. They're just going to run that weapon over to him.
They're going to try their best to keep the thing even out here, whether it be the power weapons or the scoreline, because they have done a fantastic job of keeping multiple players from Team Queso off balance. They're not able to make these solidified team pushes back in because Problems is down, Cristalize is down. Now you rotate back for the revives, you push back in for the kills. Team Queso is right now just being put in a blender on control, which is why I looked at Execution and Escalation as their route to victory. I just have never had faith in them as a control-style team.
Yeah. You mean Team Queso, right?
Yes, Team Queso.
Yeah, Team Queso, and they definitely can be because, you know, the thing is that you need at least one Slayer. You need one player that can always draw attention at any given time. And when it comes down to the makeup of this roster, it honestly needs to be Cristalize. He needs to be that guy. But I don't know if he's always that consistent as a main Slayer for this team. He has a consistently good performance, but like a main Slayer style type of energy, you know, I don't know if it's always there, right? Problems, you know, he's playing somewhat of kind of like Sleeafer's role. They're kind of the same player for the team for me, putting out a lot of damage, a lot of assists, you know, kind of splitting up the kills, but they're playing from a distance, right? They play smart, they play methodical. But I feel like they're kind of at their best when they have someone who's able to kind of be the first player in that fight as they follow up in position 2 and position 3. I feel like that's where they're thriving, and you have SuMuNs out there on an island somewhere playing that 1v spot. So, you know, ultimately at the end of the day, Team Queso, they got to be up in these controls for them to really be thriving. But as they're playing behind, they're going to have to find the kills, get themselves in position. And I don't know if it's going to be on this map, as you got Rebel 10 points away from victory and another torque bow in their hands. SuMuNs goes down. No one should be able to make it to this hill in time. Rebel are going to strike first with Reflame on the squad. 1-0.
So, Blaze, I will say this, and this is what I look at it for. Reflame does enough to help his team get the victory in that map 1. But you know as well as I do, because you've had to play with me and deal with me as a teammate before, that control and respawn style game modes are where even if you have somebody newer, the chemistry might not be there as well as you want it, you can make up for those mistakes because there's infinite lives to live for that player. Whereas you go into execution next and the pressure gets ratcheted up. He's got 17 assists, great, grand, fantastic. Rebel played extraordinarily well on the backs of Crack and Xploidz. They go into execution and you start having to feel like it's a 3v4 off of initial. That's when things will get a little bit spicier, a little bit dicier.
Yeah, I do. I feel that typically for me, I think the control you should be better at, right? Like, I feel like the control, if you are a 4-man unit, your rotation should be on point. The chemistry should be there. The speed should be there for you and your team, right? And that should be able to demolish any team who has a sub. I don't feel like that. We know that wasn't there for Team K. So instead, you know, you had a great anchor in Reflame. Even though he wasn't acquiring a lot of kills, he made it easy for the other Rebel members to slay out. And their individual skills shined a lot. Xploidz, Crack, hell, even Kardia snapping off, okay? Kardia, like, I get to shine today too, you know? So they were all popping off right there. On the flip side for execution, you know, typically there, the individual player should be able to win you the round. Someone in their 1v1 lane, okay? Maybe a duo lane that hasn't changed. You could run more strategies towards that direction. And as you got a sub, you should be making your comebacks there. Now, at the end of the day, I think that what we saw was a lack of damage output on Team Queso. Okay, I think that's where it was. Reflame had a way better performance than SuMuNs, all right? And I think that was the matchup that we got to really highlight there, where we see the biggest difference in that scoreboard. Now, are we going to see the same thing as we head on over towards Clocktower execution? We're going to find out. I don't think, you know, SuMuNs is going to have 2 back-to-back bad maps in this situation.
I see your points about control, and I raise you the fact that I don't think Team Queso is necessarily ever, in any iteration since Sleeafer has joined Team Queso, a better control team. One of the things that I think has always come back to bite them is their style has been so much better at escalations because it's initials, winning initials, and then rotating. It's been better at executions because it's about winning initials and then converting your final kills. Whereas a lot of times on control, you have a good anchor player like Reflame. He can add in that excess damage, making life easier when you get into the hill. Because once you get into the hill, it breaks down a lot into a shoddy lobby. And Xploidz and Crack are both incredible at those. They're both very quick. They're very good at hitting shots. So when they can get that extra damage, when they can probably hear Reflame saying, you know, I've tagged him up. He's a little red. He's a little red. They don't even have to necessarily be 4-pointed like they used to back in the day for you to push with confidence. Those guys have got the move and the speed to feel like they can win just about any fight. So coming into Clocktower, all that I think Team Queso has to do is focus up on Xploidz, ensure that he doesn't really get that long shot out, at least not out for free. Even if he gets the long shot out, kill his team, because if he's stuck inside spawner, if he's stuck bottom side of the map by himself, round in and round out, you can coordinate enough secondary pushes to kill him as long as it's not a 1v1. So that's what I think their big point of emphasis needs to be. Whatever they're going to do, ensure that they pay, whether it be with Xploidz' life or whoever's trying to bodyguard for him to get that long shot.
It's going to either be Xploidz or it's going to be who's playing a secondary, and that's going to be Kardia. Okay, Kardia in that secondary position. I do believe they should have Reflame anchoring there towards host spot, and it's going to come down to, you know, Rebel. They thrive off making that first move, okay? That's where they feel like they're their best version of themselves. So it's coming, and Team Queso just got to set the trap. And if they can feel that confidence, if they can get themselves some early rounds, then they can set the pace, start making a play for that sniper first and being aggressive and see how some of those rounds work with after they get themselves a cushion and gather some intel off of Rebel. So Team Queso, this is a must-win for them as they head on over towards the Escalation, where, as I said in the beginning of the show, when these teams are 4v4, you know, well, when we were looking at their full rosters on paper with Monkyz instead of Reflame, I felt like Team Queso was going to be the better team on Escalation today. I felt like they were going to be the ones to come out on top. So Yeah, we'll see if they can come away with this game mode, with that game mode when we get to it. But it's Clocktower execution coming up first, and we talk a lot about Xploidz and Kardia kind of being that 1 and 2 working together up top for Rebel to get that sniper. But on the other end, we should see a combination of Sleeafer being aggressive, and I do believe actually Problems may be on a secondary. It's either gonna be Problem or Cristalize. I think it's Problems.
I look at what they're able to do a lot of the times as basically it's predicated off of what their opponents are going to give them. Really, if early in this one they dominate the sniper play, they might start rotating somebody down low. Oh my God, Blaze!
I know, and I'm changing my pick. Changing my pick.
Do we get to reserve the right?
I'm changing my pick back to Rebel because Monkyz is back for contacts. All right, we got Mono in the building. He has a spot back, and I know he's, telling Reflame, thank you for holding it down for me. I'm back in the building. But, I'm not going to change. I'm not going to change,
No. You can change if you want, because as long as Taylor doesn't get the change back.
Well, who did Taylor pick?
Taylor originally chose Rebel, but then he picked over to Team Queso. But the fact that my man...
He did it before the broadcast?
He said Rebel PK Rise, and then he switched to TQ PK Rise. But now he switched. I'm waiting for him to hit us in the DMs. I got the phone up. I'm like Adam Schefter right now. I'm waiting for it, baby. I'm going to get you that breaking news.
The breaking news. Taylor, he's arguing for his pick back, okay? He said, well, I can Blaze do it, but I can't. Let's not have that conversation, brother. I love you, okay? You can't do everything that I do, all right? I can switch my pick back if I want to. But hey, we'll decide that at a later time. I'm just happy to see Monkyz back in for Rebel. Because you really
why. Now I'm curious. I wish you could have
maybe
a
connection issue. Maybe he didn't get home from school in time. Monkyz about his business. Okay, who knows what he had to do. First series of the day, but hey, I'm happy he's back in. And he gets to come in with his team being up 1-0. So we're headed on over to Clocktower, and Colin, everything is back to normal now.
This is going to be a little bit more awkward because now that they got Monkyz back in, they're definitely going to feel much more confident about pushing up top and taking their initial fights there and trying to deal with whatever it is that they're going to have thrown at them by the side, of Rebel, of Team Queso. Both of these teams having to figure out what exactly they're going to be able to do to set the other one off tilt.
Okay. Here we go. Excuse me, I had a cough right there. I was holding it back a little bit, as Astro Gaming is the official audio partner here of Gears Esports. It's time to head into map number 2, Rebel versus Team Queso, and I'm curious to see the opening strategy we're going to see out of Team Queso, as they are going to be playing from their good side, as we see SuMuNs and Sleeafer there towards the back pillar, and there's going to be SuMuNs who moves up for right away. He gets out, the revive is there. Kardia gets it down, him and Xploidz on the offensive. Cristalize can't move from this position. He has to fight his way out, but Rebel, they're not holding back, Colin, as they are on the aggressive. They are just on the offensive, as Crack picks up 3 kills.
That's what you have to do to be able to try to overwhelm your opponents. When they go for that early long shot pick, you've got to be able to get back up into that position across the secondary spot, maybe even all the way into prison. So you now have that 90 degree. Maybe you send somebody to the bottom of that stairwell to try to get that 90 degree going back up toward that sniper. Coming into round 2, is Rebel going to play back a little bit? Are they going to play away from whatever Team Queso wants to do? Team Queso sends SuMuNs to the back lane yet again. SuMuNs bouncing up, trying to get into a position, but he's going to get tagged up so heavily that it actually sets them back on their back foot. Mono with a beautiful flash grenade over the top. And now is looking to add in some more damage with that snub rifle. Or snub pistol, excuse me. And now Sleeafer gets out the long shot.
Sleeafer holding him down in jail. He's going to have to rotate back up towards the back pillar, taking a lot of damage. Still has 7 shots to work with. Gonna try to lock down his back pillar. Misses the body shot. His teammate goes down. It's a 4v2. Rebel's in a great spot. They force Sleeafer back down with a nade. He has to watch the back lane. But that side roll, no one in his sights. They will reset. Now Sleeafer, he's gonna have to find an angle somewhere, but Rebel, they're not gonna give him any. They're not going to give him any opportunities to get a headshot, come back into this, come back, even the odds and make it a 2v2. They got the numbers. It's slowed down. I do believe the way this is set up, we're going to have the hill up top.
Yeah, I was going to say, I got really bad news for Queso. They got to get back up top with 3 people waiting for them.
Yep. It's
Even
almost one of those situations where we just got to die fighting up top for the stairs.
They've got to. I think they have to send problems first and let problems try to bait people out of position so that you can try to go for those headshots. You can try to get those quick picks and then maybe move in for a revive. But I don't necessarily believe that we might not even get anything here. They might not even try for this. I mean, they're pretty much stuck between a rock and a hard place here. They're going to bounce out wide. Maybe try to get that angle right there at that top back position. 2 players in the area. Crack has a new long shot to use, and I mean, that's going to be easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Easy right there for Rebel. As off the retake, they get themselves in the, you know, they had the numbers. They won it before the retake up top, and it really wasn't even a retake, okay? Because it's not like they got pressed back down. You know, they were able to pick up those kills from the aggression of Team Queso as Kardia flew towards the back pillar. You know, once they got that kill, you know, they took up top. So, anywho, going over towards round number 3. Xploidz, super aggressive off the start, as well as Mono, able to get the back A on a secondary, gets first blood. Multiple revives come out for Rebel, as they are a 4-man unit. They didn't get the power weapon, though, Colin, and I think Team Queso has an opportunity to press up if they want to. It is going to be Sleeafer. Gets aggressive, but a little too aggressive. Didn't see the inside. SuMuNs stays alive. It's a 3v2. If they can get their backs towards the wall on a reset, they'll be great, but the nades come out. It's going to connect on one. SuMuNs taken out. Mono with the double.
Oh, no.
He'll take down Crack as well. Oh, my God. Is that his esophagus?
That was a sacrifice to the blood gods, ladies and gentlemen. Emil comes over from the other famous franchise from Xbox, Halo. Part of one of their better games, in my opinion. I know I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for that, but I don't care. Emil coming over and sacrificing somebody to the blood gods here in Gears. He's learning quick here on Sarah. You know damn well that he had to learn that from somebody, and I'm sure it might have been Keegan or Carmine.
You know, Cole had some tricks back in his day. You know, he was a little ruthless. You know, a little ruthless when he had to be, even though he was the funny guy. Nonetheless, this ain't a funny situation here for Team Queso, as they are down 0-3. Rebel thriving his execution. Crack goes for the push down the back lane. Him and Xploidz are down. Team Queso looking to get their first round. And they shall.
You heard the call out, ground walkers, and that tells you that the swarm are swarming. The locusts have arrived, and they're going to go for every possible shot. They swarm in on that final player from Rebel, getting that kill finally around. Goes on the board for Team Queso.
All right, so far so good for them, and they did a great job just kind of playing off that aggression from Rebel. I think Rebel, if I do recall correctly, their first the first thing that they noticed, well, the first objective was a down back pillar, and they played around that. They knew somebody was going to have to move in for the revive, so they tried to cut the gap. But the secondary from Team Queso is really strong with problems and Cristalize in this position. Sleeafer and SuMuNs working down low in the back pillar. They're doing a good job mixing and matching where their routes and the lanes in which they're taking, trying to keep Rebel guessing. But Rebel, hey, they said, we're not guessing anything. Sleeafer sets the bait. He comes away with the kill. The revives came in as well for Cristalize and his Team Queso 4v3 situation. Sleeafer misses the opportunity to cut off the secondary player. He knows that he can't sit there for long. Instead, he'll get a better toss, able to use just one nade to get a sniper for SuMuNs. Still has one in his back pocket.
It was just slow to get back to back pillar, back to get the safety. And now Rebel might have a free lane to try to get under this bridge, try to get out toward that sniper rifle spot. Oh!
Nice shot.
Hey, yo, made that cog gear back into a corpse, okay?
Man, he just barely saw the side of his head. Shot the flashlight off him. Now Kardia. 1v4 situation is not looking pretty for him. Not looking too good. That's a hard fight to take off your left hand. Queso finds 2 rounds in a row. Let's see how Rebel wants to adjust I don't know why I'm feeling like a very aggressive round coming out for Rebel here in round 6, Colin. Maybe an aggressive play through the top lane. That's what I'm thinking about. As Rebel, they're relying on Xploidz and Crack to work together to be able to get the revives and also shut down SuMuNs and Sleeafer. That's the duo matchup. The flash is in hand for Team Queso. Aggressive. Mono, he gets the stun, puts him a little bit of pressure on Problems to back him up to that jail. I don't know if Problems is going to be able to move up to that secondary without taking damage. He should be able to, but I think he's going to get focused. There you go. He's actually not getting focused. He moves up with ease, finds the right timing. But Mono doesn't have the flash to work with to be able to be the aggressor in this position. Sleeafer, did he time it well? Yes, they did. It's Team Queso. They'll be able to pick up the first blood, but now they got the man advantage. Rebel backs against the wall. Kardia in a 1v3. When we're all tied up now, 3-3.
Did you see SuMuNs' how do I put this? I don't want to say trick play necessarily. Not SuMuNs. Sleeafer's trick in that round.
I didn't, but I did. What I saw from Sleeafer is he chose the right timing to move up there and grab that snipe, knowing that only one person was watching it.
You know why he got such an easy run to snipe other than one person? He was the only person out of 8 people that didn't throw a flash grenade.
He saved it towards the end.
Utility. All of Queso used their utility. Sleeafer was holding on to his for dear life.
And when you do that, you are able to have such an impact in the later portion of the round. 4v3 for Rebel. Mono with the first blood. Crack finds the second kill. And now it's up to Sleeafer. Trapped on his opponent's pillar. He's able to get one, but that's all. Rebel, they stop the bleeding. They don't allow Team Queso to get the lead. So they save face for now. They've had the momentum in their favor since the map has started. Kardia is having a great map. 7-6, I believe it was. Sorry, 10-6, I believe it was. 10k damage. 7 kills, 6 assists, 10k damage, 4 deaths to his name. Only 3 rounds lost out of 7. Here we go. Rebel in a great spot to go up 2-0. Probably one of the most important rounds of this map. SuMuNs with the quick pick.
Doesn't get
it ain't quick
he
though.
Still hasn't even got it.
It ain't quick. He will
get the man home.
How?
No, they don't get the revive. They don't get nothing. SuMuNs stayed. This was the round that Rebel did what I thought they needed to do a few rounds ago when Sleeafer was able to hold on to his utility grenade. I'm going to explain both of those during the break, please. But go ahead and finish off.
Do you not? I feel like Kardia died. I mean, not Kardia. What was it? Cristalize died quick there? Or no, it was Sleeafer.
Sleeafer died quick.
Yeah, he died really quick before even a revive can come out that situation. Some doesn't even have an opportunity for it.
Are you ready? You ready for the breakdown?
Yeah.
3 rounds ago, to try to answer back, when I thought that Rebel wanted to get another round back on the board before it was tied up 3-3, I wanted him to bring 4 flash grenades into the fight. They didn't. They brought a smoke. Sleeafer holds on to his. They end up getting the 3-3 split. That round, Rebel brought 4 flash grenades and threw 4 straight flash grenades at the sniper pickup. They were never going to get the sniper, and they were never going to get the revive off. It was going to force somebody else to come over for a revive. It stuns you. It stops you from doing anything.
Yo, sometimes just disrupting the initial, it causes a lot of problems, and it forces some players to make some bad decisions because things aren't going the way that they expect. And you don't even have to shoot a single bullet. Mono is going to get cleaned up 3v2 in favor of Team Queso, as this is a must-win round for them. They don't want to find themselves down 2-0. Kardia connects on a body shot. Here's the flank from Crack. He misses the shot, but doesn't miss the second. In between 2. Now a 2v1 for Team Queso. Kardia 1v2, going for the bonfire. Woo! Misses, doubles back, shimmies a little, a back A. He cuts in, a stun there. He's gonna go for it. He finds himself in a corner. Can't get enough damage out. This Team Queso 1 round away from tying.
Normally, nobody puts baby in a corner, but Kardia baby found himself in a corner and goes down inside of it.
Yeah, no one ever puts baby in a corner. You don't touch me.
Can you guess the movie reference?
No, but I've had somebody, you know, I got a lot of
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We're gonna move on.
I know a lot of brats in my life, so you know, that's where I resonated from it with. Okay.
Hey,
we don't put baby in the corner
in your life. I tell you what, you got a mean grandmama like I do. She put everybody in the corner.
Yo, for real. The Xploidz taking a good amount of damage. The nades come up on Team Queso. Crack's able to connect on one. And there's a save from Sleeafer. Makes it a 3v3. He gets a little spacing. And the entire Team Queso squad would get some spacing for SuMuNs, but they got to get out their opponent's side of the map. SuMuNs connects on a body shot, and there's the reset that Team Queso needed.
And that body shot ensures the reset. Xploidz goes down toward the bottom side where the fragmentations are. They're not able to get that down. SuMuNs is going to rotate over here into the position where you might be able to shoot down into that crack just to get that shot on to Xploidz, who's now stuck back there by the car and the van, waiting on a respawn, I believe, because yeah, he doesn't have fragmentations. He only has the flashbang in his hand. 35 seconds for the new frag grenades, 45 for the new long shot. Sleeafer rotates over to the top. They get the call out on Kardia now as well. Body shot into Monkyz, gets him down, and good job by Team Queso. I think honest to God, that might be a Monkyz mistake. Monkyz needs to wait for the new fragmentation grenade, so he might be able to throw one to get a save, or Monkyz needs to wait for it, so if he goes down, they might throw one to be able to save him.
Agreed. Even if you take the car, though, you're going to be the main focus. You know that SuMuNs is going to keep the sniper over your head the entire time, and they'll have someone slowly push you out of that position. But at least they'll have the cross from what would have been Xploidz. Body shot from SuMuNs. He stays alive.
Woo! Right in the chest. Man, hit him in the chest with it.
Yeah, and Kardia ain't going nowhere. He ain't giving up no free kills.
Round 11, baby.
Nice effort. But like you said, we're going to a round 11, chat. Strap yourself in. Team Queso versus Rebel going to distance and execution. 10K for Sleeafer. 13K damage for Kardia. Now, as we move into the final round, who's going to have a bigger impact? Xploidz is not being much of an X factor here. He's soaking up a lot of damage, though, in that back lane. I will say that much. Allowing his teammates to make some plays. Mono put some damage on the whole spot. Doesn't see anything fishy just yet. SuMuNs was the focus on the secondary. Sorry, not SuMuNs, but it was Sleeafer there, as he's going to back up. He does get the sniper, and what a shot on Xploidz! Takes him out right away. 2 quick kills.
Nope.
He would have almost got the third. His teammate blocked him.
He just shot the ledge. He was too close. He was too close to the ledge. Kardia has to try to win this 1v over here. He has to try to stay alive. 2 different 2v1s breaking out. Mono goes down. Now Kardia tries to hit the body shot, and he goes down. Team Queso down 3-0 to start, then drop 2 more. Are picture perfect for 2 rounds, Blaze.
Picture perfect indeed. It was looking scary for Team Queso and looking good for Rebel. But when it was all said and done, the cheese just fermented that much longer, and Team Queso came in a full form. We're all tied up 1-1, and when we come back, we're heading on over to Training Grounds Escalation to see who can get the lead in this series. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Gears Pro League. We're all tied up 1-1, Rebel versus Team Queso, and that was a great comeback here from Rebel. Kyle, in those last few rounds, where did Rebel kind of make their adjustments? Sorry, where did Team Queso make their adjustments in the comeback to, you know, get out of that deficit that Rebel put them in?
Team Queso did an incredible job in those final few rounds of taking over their opponent's secondary position. 3 rounds before they won, they throw 3 flashbangs, 1 to the back, 2 to the back, 1 to that prison pillar to get that chaos going, and then they took over the prison. So they have the 90 degree. Nobody from back pillar can come away from it, because then you can get shot at a 45 to a 90. You can't come out in front to the back side of back pillar because then you get hit with a long shot. Then the next round, Team Queso did the best thing possible. They brought 2 smokes and 2 flashes. They throw 1 smoke to the long, 1 smoke to the short, so that when Crack tries to come in for the 1-shot kill at the long shot, he has no idea as he comes through the smoke that nobody is in position to get chunked out. Neither of those players stayed up on the long shot. They stayed just out of chunk range, allowing Crack to get shot up, get downed, and then they pull up with the chunk. It's not changing so much. It's just little adjustments. One step here, one pullback here, taking over a different positioning that wins you rounds.
Yeah, just the little things, right? Especially on a map like Clocktower, because it's not so much of a positional advantage that you can get, right? Because you need a player on host spot, you need a player on secondary, you need a player back pillar. And so you only get a little wiggle room on one guy, all right? But the way that the strategy in the meta is, you know, sometimes the only adjustments that you get is going to be on the nades, okay? On your decision making, being, you know, quick to notice when your opponent makes a mistake and you're able to capitalize on it, finding a gap in between shots. That's how tight it is on Clocktower. Now we need to move on over towards Training Grounds, Escalation. And I felt like even with the full rosters that Team Queso could come out on top of this map. You know, they're a slightly better Escalation team. And, you know, I feel like a big reason because of that is that, you know, Sleeafer's a great anchor. I think Problems, he does a great job in the speed in which he plays, kind of filling in the gaps and having a high-level understanding of where he needs to be on the map when things go wrong, because you need a player who can see the big picture at all times. That way, if some guys get wiped, he's already across the map, taking another fight, being a distraction and creating time for the rest of everybody else to respawn and have an impact on the comeback. So he saves on a lot of those rounds, and it's going to be a close one, but I think Team Queso can edge this one out.
Team Queso has to, they have to basically manipulate the meta. If they're losing in the straight neutral rounds with the Nasher, Lancer, and Snub, drop a long shot, drop a power weapon. Give yourselves the opportunity to plan around a power weapon. If you're dominating those neutrals, if Rebel comes out and drops a power weapon of their own, and you're like, hey, look, we're not exactly sure how we want to take this fight, neutralize that out. They put long shot underneath at the closet, underneath the overlook there. Neutralize it out by putting, you know, an M bar at the U. Put some other power weapon somewhere else so it doesn't allow Rebel to kind of focus in on one single strategy. Okay. But manipulate the meta for your favor. Feel out the first couple of rounds. Yes, you're all great with Boltox. You're all great with Retros. I understand your pro players. But at the end of the day, if your focus is spreading them away from each other, because that's what won you that last map, was keeping Rebel from being able to win these little CQC bounce fests.
Yeah.
Putting them in bad spots, was angling them out. You can do the same thing if you just separate out the power weapons. If they take the under overlook, you put something at you. Break it up into two fights. If you're losing the initials without any power weapons, put a power weapon down and break them away from that neutral hill.
Yeah, I agree with you, because if Team Queso comes out here and they're winning with nothing on center line and Rebel puts something down center line first, if Rebel comes away with as soon as Rebel wins a round with a center line power weapon that they put down, you put something up top. If they don't win a round, you're all good. Just keep beating them up with what you got. They're not ready for you today. But if they do win that first round, split up the fight once again and go back to what was working before. So they have that counter. If not, if Rebel's the better team off the start and off the initial, well, Team Queso at that point, they just have to decide which fight they want, right? Are you going to fight down low? Do you want to fight up top? Because a switch needs to happen. Something needs to, because, yeah, you know, without the base weapons ain't working, and you do need a power weapon somewhere. You just got to hope that you got a player who can win that 50-50 battle and then use that power weapon, the extra firepower to get that speed to play for those trip cap dominations and close out the round. So we'll see how it trickles down. It's Training Grounds, and, you know, we're gathering intel as well. We know that we got 8 talented players in the lobby right now, but how are they going to show up today? It's that close of a series, you know, with Team Queso and Rebel, as we're tied up 1-1. And, you know, we talked a lot about, you know, what's going to make Team Queso successful. You know, on the flip side, I think we kind of alluded to it, that Rebel, you know, those close quarter fights when they're playing for a sniper at underpass, or you just got a single power weapon at you, that's where they're going to be their strongest at.
And they can definitively take over those fights. One of the things that they've done very well on Training Grounds in history is basically allow themselves to smoke out the front side of the U, Lancer out toward the back, and let a guy like Crack take over that back bounce wall. Let him take over that back bounce fight, because one of the things that they've been really definitively good at in this matchup against Team Queso is getting into the CQC and winning it. as long as they're not getting angled out, as long as somebody's not helping out the way that Rebel has been used to getting the help, that's when things have started to go wrong. Right here on Training Grounds, they have to try to keep close to Team Queso. Not necessarily in scoreline, but at least in geographical position.
Yeah, they're going to have to stay close. They cannot allow Team Queso to get the spacing going on and put them in a trap. It's a 3-man rush up top, and it's going to be matched here by Rebel, but they'll just send more players over towards the U side as it's a 2v2 up top, and Xploidz closing the gap from behind. He has a little angle. SuMuNs with a defensive flash from behind. Cristalize makes a huge play, though, Colin. Takes down Xploidz off the start. Makes this a 2v2 fight.
Now Cristalize is looking for this extra angle toward the backside of that. Sleeper's going to go down to the 1v1 over at B. Problems is going to try to get out in that position to maybe help out over here, but now Problems realizes he has to deal with a meat shield and a secondary player. So you see what Rebel might be doing is they might be trying to set up now full defensive spawn where they get 2 players up top toward that center stairwell, toward the heaven, and Lancer anybody that tries to go to the top side of the map here, toward the overlook. Now we're going to see the retake from Team Queso come in. Xploidz with a great positioning, rotating out as he's going to get that extra shot from the heaven every time.
Mono has a great spot here as he has that sight line, putting some good damage in on these players, having to run across, and then he also has the heaven support. You see they're able to down out Cristalize as well as Problems. SuMuNs at the overlook. He's gonna have some problems soon. He may get pressed in a 1v2, but no one's gonna give him the time of day. Rebel, they're completely comfortable with just the B hill and the C hill. They just took their time, taking their numbers down low, clearing out Sleeafer. They'll have themselves another 2v1. Cristalize almost made it to the revive. That would have been epic if we did. But instead, it's a dash to try to save him. Problems has to back up. Gonna take a 1v2 with a little high ground. That's a great shot to hold this position. That flash a little too deep. He can't do much as the domination comes through, and Rebel will strike first.
Can't give up that positioning early. Sleeper can't go down on the initial, and right there, when you have Problems try to bounce across and hit that little back A on that overlook, you put 2 different players in extraordinarily tough positions to win the fights. Real quick, can we get the scoreboard brought back up? I just want to point something out. Cristalize has 2 kills and 2 deaths, but one of those 2 kills was during the initial onto crack, giving him that back U, which is extraordinarily important, which tells me that Problems and Sleeafer, they've got to step up right here. The 0-3-0-2 is basically how they lose round 1 because it was 2 guys trying to fight a 4v2 for most of that first round.
Yeah, they were just kind of trapped there towards back U, and they needed just someone else to kind of help them get the pressure off of them. It was also a team decision as well for Team Queso to go play for the home hills, and Sleeafer just, the support was, Cristalize, he had a little bit of support, but he just needed some more firepower to come through and confirm those kills. Ultimately, Sleeafer, he gets taken out to start. Rebel, they'll lock in the B hill. Mono gets jumped by 2 different players, as you're going to start to see Xploidz get crossed out, and that's 4 down, Colin.
4 down, Queso, they know that this is their option. They got to try to push across here for the
3 down,
triple cap domination. No, Kardia's caught between oh my God, wait for the second player to run past you. Oh my God, no!
Oh, you got to get those.
Hey, yo, somebody call my man Franchise so I can hear him say that can't happen real quick. Get him live on the hotline.
Trip cap domination. Deny for now. That's a flash to connect. SuMuNs taken out. And it's going to be Rebel fighting back slowly but surely. They'll be able to get overlooked. Sleeafer in a 1v2. Forced to go forward, but Rebel, they're not taking the bait. Cristalize with a Botox. Not putting out enough damage. B hill goes on over to Rebel as well. Cristalize getting timed out. It's up to SuMuNs. A decent flash, but not good enough. Buys only a few seconds that they can't do much with. They being Team Queso. Rebel with the comeback in this round, 2 in a row.
So close, but so far away after that initial 3 down and dead for the side of Rebel, and they get that turnaround kill. I mean, That's got to sting a little bit. This is where I was talking about in the pregame, Blaze, is you've got to have some kind of turnaround. You got to be able to control the meta in some way, shape, form, or fashion, because right now, Rebel is just besting you. They are ousting you right now.
They are, and when you lose rounds like the second one we just watched, very demoralizing for you and your team. Very, very demoralizing. So, Team Queso, with the retros, they went for the early snipe look. We said that if you're losing the 50-50 battle off the start, you're going to have to make some switch-ups, okay? And so they choose to put the sniper down low. We'll see how it works out for them in round 3, but I'm happy that they did make a decision early so they can play around the fight. And if Rebel has any issues with it, they can put another power weapon up top and split it up once again. Sleeafer first blood, taking down Mono. Crack, having to check his right. Not getting pinched just yet. But he has both players in front of him. Not much you can do. Xploidz was there. Is he down? Yeah, he was down. Just couldn't get to the fight in time. That's a double. Trip cap about to ensue. Rebel has to hop in the hill, but that's it.
Not be this
he gets
time,
the decap. He buys his team some time. Is it enough? They can fight a 2v.
Somebody else down yet again, crawls into a hill to prevent a round from being over. I mean, gotta love it. Gotta love it. Doesn't cause it to be completely not over, though. So good job by Team Queso to at least convert.
It's the hustle we love.
And that's what I'm talking about, though, Blaze. See how now it is only 2-1 after they control them. They put down the power weapon. They change up the fight on Rebel. They don't give them the look that they maybe won.
Now, Rebel has to go for the placement on the Retro Lancer so they can be up and having a free incendiary nade on their side of the map. So no more Retro Lancer. They got a nade that gives them that insta-kill potential, and that's what you want. A good toss with that can just destroy your opponent's setup there and allow you to be able to move through and get the rest of the heals that you need. That's an early smoke coming out for Kardia. Allows Xploidz to go wide. You saw he tossed his own flash, a quick pickup. The response, he goes, yeah, he gets out. For a second, I thought he was going to play for the fight. Instead, Team Queso, they play for God Spot. They say, you can have the weapon. We'll take God Spot and really just play for the overlook and a capture. Play from a defensive standpoint. And it's not the worst thing in the world because now you're forcing Xploidz to hit shots, but he's been moving back, right? His team needs him to be at the B hill. His team needs him up top because Team Queso, they're not eager to be aggressive in this situation. But Problems will still find first blood. He'll get a kill. Now they need to either go for the home hill, but Xploidz doing a great job defending it. Can't get the quick snipe. Works that cover as well as he can. Ultimately, Cristalize will take him down. The home hill protected for Rebel, but it's Sleeafer at the B hill. He'll allow Team Queso to continue to control 2 and take a little sigh of relief. SuMuNs, he dodges the nade.
Try aiming next time, Mr.
Intentionally.
This is what they need, though, Blaze. Up by 40 or 50 points in the next 10 to 15 seconds. They're going to be able to get these kills. They get a second one here. It can almost guarantee them a 2-2 split going into the second half. They really should just sit back right now. It's another 5 to 10 seconds. If they get another kill here, continue to stagger, all well and good. All great, grand, fantastic. They could have continued to play defense and keep Rebel in a bad spot. Keep them on the back foot, but they're going to continue to go for the pressure here. They're going to try to knock this one up quicker and sooner rather than later. And they do just that, Blaze. So now, Rebel, do they place a secondary power weapon? Do they try to change up the fight themselves? Or do they keep trying to figure out how to beat Team Queso? Because I like the fact that Team Queso went one round, we'll pick up the power weapon. Next round, we're going to play defense.
Place the M bar. Place the M bar. Place the M bar up top.
Do what he says or die. Oh, wait.
Do it. Put the M bar up there right now. Oh, you're gonna learn. You know what? We'll let him get a bolt talk. A bolt talk is still a great advantage in this situation, especially when it comes down to the home hills. You know, give your secondary player something to work with. And on the flip side, we see Team Queso opting to go for a shock grenade. So I wonder why. I'm pretty sure it has a lot to do with play style for sure. They want to use it in some more defensive positions while they got 2 hills captured up, locking down some lanes. Xploidz goes in this time around for the scope. He says, I learned a lot from the first round with it down. Let me just have another round to make some adjustments and for us not to panic. But if you lose 2 in a row, Got to make that last round adjustment and set this map up. Switch it up once again and see if you can get the jump on your opponent on the initial. Xploidz joins the fight. His teammates getting crossed out from that opposite heaven. There's a double down for each team, but the kill's only being cleaned up by Rebel, as they'll be able to take down Cristalize. 4v2 on the map, make it a 4v1. All up to Sleeafer. He gets his first teammate off the respawn, and Rebel not going to be too aggressive. He just got in the lead, Colin, and they're going to give Team Queso a little bit of opportunity to react here.
You can't have all that down and damage and not be able to convert either of those kills in the Overlook. That puts you in a terrible position. Put your teammates in an even worse position. Now we'll see if they can try to come back, because now they got Xploidz up top of the Overlook in the power position. Looking to try to get a headshot here. Won't be able to pull that trigger just yet. Big body shot attempt right there. Kardia gets the down to Cristalize. Quick little revive out for the side of Team K. So they're continuing to try to push. The heaven spot is going to be problematic for them. Cristalize revived yet again. My man is down to his last third down and out. Shot out. One more shot to go. Body shots have been good, but not have been conversions. Now Cristalize on his third down and out continues to help them out. But that's the triple cap domination they needed, as after the heaven spot became problematic for Team K. So it goes to the favor of Rebel, leading the triple cap domination. And now we got the lead right back in Rebel's favor after the first round of the second half.
All right, what are we going to see? I do believe Rebel, they're not feeling like they need to sound alarm just yet. They'll keep playing up on the secondary. A block? I'm about to say, you know, you would have thought. You would have thought. They're going to go for the secondary upgrade, as they should. They need to get something built up there early on. Even if it's just the Boltok on that side of the map, you can have that Boltok and be super aggressive down that range lane, that lower lane, just to take your opponent's nade on some rounds if you need to. As we kick off this one, problems. He's quicker to the underpass to kick this one off, Colin. As he picks up the snipe, they're waiting for the exit. He gets out cleanly. He didn't even have no help either.
They're waiting in the wings for him, and he still found a way to make it out of that alley. Problem's going to bounce up to the U now. Tries to go for the shot over the top, but no help needed. SuMuNs will get that kill. They'll get the mid-neutral hill. 3v1 on the map right now, and a big headshot by Problems gives them the opportunity to go for the triple cap domination and make it 3-3 going into the later portions of this map 3.
This is a close. Oh, wow. Hold up. Did he do enough? It's a flank coming in from the left. He did enough. That's going to continue the round. Team Queso so close to winning it. SuMuNs pulls out his pistol, gets a little bit of damage on Mono. He has to finish off that kill now, but he can't. Rebel, they can taste, they can smell the embarrassment sweating from Team Queso's pores, but can they taste it? They're going to move in towards the home hill and the neutral. They captured the neutral at E. Team Queso, you know, it's not over with yet, but they are holding their breath, Colin, knowing that this should have been a round in which they won. But they got a little lackadaisical at the end there, trying to cap up that hill, and allowed, I do believe that was Xploidz, to get a kill that he shouldn't have.
We'll find out if they can continue to stave off what has been a little bit of a nightmare situation for the side of Team Queso. So close to that triple cap domination, now trying to fight back against Rebel as they pressure across the map in a 3v1, now 4v1 situation. Team Queso finds themselves in the exact opposite position that they found themselves in earlier. As two players come off of respawn, they get one down. They pressure back over toward that mid-neutral hill. A secondary down comes out. Monkyz goes down. Now they're going to be able to pressure out. It could very well be a 2v2 over there. If they're not careful, they need to get over there quick, fast, and in a hurry.
The Retro Lancer is shutting down this inside lane. Kardia drops back. Has to get himself in a better position. He's going to leave his teammate to the wolves. He's going to leave him to the cheeseheads at least, as Team Queso. They'll be capping up E. They got overlook control. There's a player at the underpass. Kardia's going to be picking up the new snipe. Rebel playing for the home hill setup. Will Kardia be able to get out of here? Yeah, he's going to run back to his teammate. He has to help him out now. Caught out in the open. Kardia, he needs to have an impact with this snipe, but instead his teammates are losing a numbers battle.
Kardia is fine right here at home. I mean, he's got a 1v1, but his teammates have to find a way to continue to hold on to their opponent's home hill. He's the only hill in favor of Team Queso. Swarm's still win in 15 seconds. Incendiary comes out. They're going to lock up the nuke to their home hill. They're going to pressure out toward E.
Rebel wins in 10.
Body shot by Monkyz.
The down didn't come through.
That's going to be it. That's going to be all she's said and done, ladies and gentlemen. Rebel's going to go up 4-2.
Rebel, they find a way to get it done just when they were staring down defeat in this round, and we were going to start talking about it being a tie game. Instead, it's Rebel up 4-2. A hard-fought comeback. They were down by at least 100 or so. Let's see. Nice headshot. This is the play. Almost a domination. Xploidz takes down Problems, and it's going downhill from Queso at this point. They're not able to get the cleanups that they need. Not close enough for the proper trades, and when you're on your opponent's side of the map, you want to be hip to hip. You want to be really close there because they're spawning so fast. You don't got all the time to work with, and it's Rebel 1 round away from going up 2-1 in the series.
We will be going into this next round now with Rebel needing just 1 round indeed to get into the next portion of this series with a lead. We're going to come out to that mid-fight yet again. Xploidz throws out his smoke. He's going to set up this pillar. SuMuNs pokes himself out. Won't be able to get damage on right there. Pushing in. This is going to be a chance for Xploidz to get the pick. He's going to have a teammate there as the bodyguard. Team Queso goes for the initial damage yet again, but Crack with an incendiary shuts down Problems, and now the 4v3 official on the map.
Xploidz has 1 player in his crosshairs. Misses the body shot, and he knows it's time to pull out the shotty. He can't be reloaded and just miss his snipe shots. It's all about finishing off this kill quickly. He gets some help from his teammates, and he'll go take some high ground. As you got Mono moving in towards the home hill. The back A is there. He dodges a shot and dodges another shot and comes in for the meat shield. Beautiful work from him. A melee, but ultimately a Sleeafer out of the miss roll in the corner to finish it off. Monkyz was not expecting that. And now Kardia, 1v2, meat shield, has a little help. Or does he? He was actually in a 1v5.
1v5 situation coming off a respawn here. 2 players pushing up toward E. Both players going to get tagged up early. Xploidz over the top with the long shot. Looking for a possible headshot here. They're going to roll over to the backside of the U. Not going to be able to get stunned out with that first one. Second smoke and flash lands at Xploidz' face, but now it's a 3v3. All knotted up over here. Crack is going to go toward the top side of that overlook if he realizes he has the chance for the flank, but he's not going to push out just yet. Xploidz full red. Shot over the top, gets the down. There goes in for the revive, and here comes the flank from Problems. First down comes out. Second down traded out. Big body shot by Crack, bounces into a second, now lines up a third, won't be able to get it. It's a 1v1 to try to hold on to the E hill.
Now is going to be going on over towards Team Queso as they have won that 2v2 battle for it. It's going to be Cristalize pressing out just a bit, gathering some intel, but he knows not to cross that 50-yard line as Team Queso getting fortified, but they don't have the win condition. It's Rebel with an even stronger defense. Team Queso strengthening their offense. Sleeafer's going to have that snipe on that overlook side of the map. Rebel goes deep towards their spawn. I think they need to get at least a few more players at E. I think player 6 is spaced out too much because you want to be able to contest the first fight right here at the choke point in the back alley. Exactly how Rebel's playing it. What many missed shots is that? Then he walks into a flash. As you're watching, it's like, surely not, right? But, you know, it was close. It was close.
Come away. Don't come away with a round. Don't come away with a map blaze. And Team Queso struggled to hold on in the second half. They could not find an answer for the different shot calls out of Rebel, whether it be picking up the long shot early or having to play against Crack. I really do believe the definitive switch up in that second half of the map was the incendiary grenade. Twice, Queso went for the defensive stand like they did in the first half, where they just took the neutral hill, gave up the long shot in the early goings, only to have whoever was trying to hold down the neutral get burnt alive, baby, by that incendiary. What an incredible couple of throws, especially with the pressure on.
An incredible couple of throws indeed, and you know that's the power of that utility nade. That's the power of being up in escalation, being able to have the first weapon placement for your squad. And we saw Rebel get that early lead in round number 1, and they never gave it up. No matter the advantage, no matter how small it was, Rebel knew how to amplify that for victory. And so we saw them do that, utilizing the nades. The one round where the snipes placed down, and you know, actually no, that first round actually went towards Team Queso. Those first 2 rounds went towards Team Queso actually when the snipe was there. Or at least the first, regardless, you know, they got a lot from that, but Rebel just kept the slight adjustment that they had the 2 rounds after, and that was on the secondary and on the nade, and knowing that they had that clutch factor. Because they should have lost the round 6, right? They should have lost the round 6, but, you know, they saw their opponent slipped up, and they capitalized on that from there. They ended up taking that map in the round 7, so kudos to them. So we got to move on over towards map 4. And Team Queso, they did a good job getting to this point, but we're going on over towards Reactor Control, Carlin.
That's going to be a difficult one because Rebel has been, you know, historically great at that map nonetheless. And now with Monkyz, who was one of the pivotal players, in my opinion, for the Pittsburgh Knights when they played on this map, I'll be curious to see what Team Queso's answer is, because I've always just kind of taken control with a grain of salt for Team Queso, because they've just never necessarily specialized in it. I don't want to say been great at it, but that's the only real way I can think of to put it, is I just haven't seen them do anything that's made me think they were world beaters on Control.
Yeah, I feel you on that one. You know, they haven't made me, they've made me a believer at times that, you know, that they know how to play Control against the best, but being dominant, you know, betting some money on them, you know, betting a check or my house on them. I don't know about all of that when it comes down to majority of our teams in the league. But for this Team Queso squad to be the best version of this team, right? I feel like it's when they're set up. When they're set up, the Lancers are up, and they're able to get the intel, the marks across the map, and they can see their opponents stacking up, and they can see that push coming a few seconds before it happened for them to solidify their defense. How do you do that on Reactor Control? It's about winning that first initial on the map and going up in points, because when you go up in points, you're able to rotate a little bit early, get set up, and it's not a lot of pressure on you to force those fights. You can take it comfortably knowing that your opponent has to play into the objective. But if Queso finds himself in a 100-point deficit in Reactor Control early on, I don't know if they got the firepower. I don't know if they got the heart to fight their way out of a hole like that. That's why I say they have to be up for them to be able to get to the Canals execution. Because the way that they played that last execution, I'm with you, Colin. I think they do got a chance, okay? That was a beautiful comeback that we saw in Clocktower. I'm a believer in Team Queso in the game mode, but in order to get there, in order for us to have that SuMuNs versus Xploidz or Sleeafer versus Xploidz battle on Canals, they're going to have to start up on Reactor Control.
They're going to have to win this next map, and one of the hardest parts about winning this next map is just how good players like Xploidz, like Crack are at that first point when you have just a single pillar to kind of fight over, and then when you can actually flank out from the middle with the extra Lancer. That's what makes them so hard to beat on this map. There's a lot of different situations that you can find yourself in early if you're Team Queso. Rotate for the power weapons early. Keep it out of Crack's hands. It's a torque bow. He was extraordinarily good with it on Ritual. He's going to be extraordinarily good with it on Reactor. So you've got to play for the power weapons. You got to keep those out of his hands to keep yourself in a position to maybe maintain or regain all the momentum back if things were to go south quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Yeah, because he's going to be tracking that on the respawn timer every single time, almost to the point where you could just bait it. You could bait it and know that Rebel's going to be there on the dot, on the T, as soon as it spawns up to grab it and, you know, maybe come out with an advantage on it. But nonetheless, Rebel, they're feeling confident. They have all the momentum on their side of the court going into map number 4. It's looking like it's going to be the Crack show again, just like we saw in the first Control map. We'll see if that comes to fruition as we load up into Reactor. On the flip side, Team Queso, they need a Slayer to arise, and they need a superstar, okay? They need someone to just absolutely take over this game in the early portions, and I want to call out Cristalize. I'm going to continue to call out Cristalize, because Cristalize can't be like a mid-tier player on the squad, okay? Like, he has to, every single week, every single scrim, he has to go in there with the main mentality that I'm going to come away with the most kills.
He's got to start thinking of himself as much more. He's got to realize that even though nobody else might look at him like that top S-tier player, he has to believe that's him. He has to know that, hey, I've got the sauce necessary if I can get it to go. All they have to do is and maybe help him out, get a few early kills to give him the advantage.
Yeah, because he has the best teammates in the world, right? Like when you think about some of the best 1v1 players, the best, you know, support players, the most selfless players on his team, Problem, Sleeafer, SuMuNs, right? Those are the guys. He, like you say, has to be just selfish and be cocky, right? Go out there and just feel like you're the best and come away with those kills, because even if you know, lose that fight, your teammates are going to be able to, you know, your teammates are going to be able to clean up. They're going to be able to do their jobs a little bit better if you can draw the firepower towards yourself. All right, so, yeah.
Go ahead, baby. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say we got a tech issue. You know, we're going to get it solved. You know, I think it's going to be a quick one based off the way that reset. I don't know if a player probably loaded in without a gun, what it may be, but, you know, we'll see what it is and get that one sorted out and get back into map number 4. But I hope you all have been having a fantastic day, you know, and you guys are enjoying your time with me and Colin, because we enjoy our time with you every Wednesday and Tuesday and Thursday and sometimes Friday, and most definitely if we got your time on a weekend. We love that, because that's major time. Major times happen on the weekend. And then relegation also happens on the weekends, and we get loose on relegation streams.
We actually have, I'm gonna shout this out while we got a moment during a tech test. Another thing that we've been able to do the past couple of months that I've had the opportunity and the privilege to do both times in the last 6 months that we've had one is Xbox, along with, you know, the great people at UMG, giving them insights on how to run tournaments for Gears, because they've been doing a fantastic job. Guys like Goldie, guys like Hunter, guys like Softer, making incredible strides in making sure that the Gears program stays alive and looks as good as it can, and no matter where it is.
Hell yeah.
They put on those women's tournaments, and I've gotten the chance to take part in both of those. The last one we had was won by they were part of Rebel. They were the Rebel ladies. They won it under their banner. That was Style, Mini, Moxie, and Asphyxia. Now they're with Casa de Papel, and they're doing just as good. They're playing well in Metro League. So I think one of the things,
and not just with Gears too. Yeah, Halo also.
Oh, without a doubt, without a doubt. Loving it. Love the fact that I've been getting the chance to spotlight just all the ladies that get to put on the best possible performances in multiple titles recently, and UMG has really helped put a spotlight on those people. So shout out to UMG and everybody over there that's put in all the hours, all the restless and thankless hours. I know all of you see that beautiful face over there. Like, y'all see Blaze and you're like, man, he can't look any better. But somehow UMG takes him from a 9.99999 to a 10.01.
Hey,
look at that.
Stop.
Hey.
Stop.
Yeah.
You know, just stop. Okay? Cause I look at you, all right?
Oh, no.
And then I see one of the most amazing men I know, okay? The girl dad of the year. All right? The girl dad of the year. Taking care of all those beautiful women in your household, okay? Oozing masculine energy, all right? I need that beard. I wish I had that type of dad energy. I'm jealous, okay? Teach me.
Now it's getting scruffed.
Teach me, shoot.
Hey, it ain't me raising these lovely ladies. My wife is a godsend. Look, you ask for a miracle, I'm pretty sure my wife is going to disappear out of my house. If somebody's like, I need a miracle God, they're going to send her, and I'm going to be sitting here like,
what you want me to do? What I'm supposed to do? You just gonna shut down my whole operation and take the queen?
I had a good thing going, and you just took my miracle. What's going on here? I thought I was living right. I thought
somebody else needed the miracle. Okay,
that's what it had to be.
But it's my wife. All right. She don't belong to everybody. She's my wife.
A controller issue?
You know.
Actually, I can't bitch Blaze. The other day I started streaming Gears. First controller I put on, terrible stick drift. Like every time I let it loose, I would just start doing this. So I said, let me switch. I switched to a second controller, terrible stick drift. Third controller, terrible. I went through 4 controllers on stream until I found one that did. Here. Oh, so you got, is that Elite Series 1 or 2?
This is Elite Series. I think this is 1. This is 1. Like this is 1 because I remember I brought a few online. And I got a little sweat pad on it. What is that?
The Thrustmaster, the one that we're sponsored by, baby.
Oh, yeah, I knew that.
The eSwap X presented by Thrustmaster.
Yeah, you know, I never got one. But, you know.
Got one?
No, I didn't.
Yo, somebody better hook my man Blaze.
I never saw that in my life.
Wait a minute.
We got to talk, okay?
We got to pause the game.
We got to talk. You know, maybe one of my old neighbors got it, and they just playing. Like, yo, look at me, I'm God Blaze. You know, wall bouncing and stuff. Okay, Well, here we go. As we head into the next round, Sleeafer able to not connect with that bow, but he does have the bow, and he has a great position on the map, able to pick up 1 kill. He hops over the wrong direction and gives up a free death. As now, Team Queso, they're going to be in this hill without their IGL and Power Weapon Slayer, but still, they're in the hill, and that's what's most important, as they're collected on time. This is good for Team Queso, as Rebel already backing up for next.
Yeah, incredible early goings for the side of Team Queso. Up decent on this first hill, but you see what they're doing. They're trying to play against Rebel's early setup here at P2. They've got 2 players at the hill and then 2 players playing across the opposite side. Sleeafer has to find a way to make enough noise to get that extra Lancer off of these 3 players. And he gets 1, which should bring him up. This should be the breakout that they need. They're going to have to get another couple of kills to the backside, but good answer by Kardia getting 1. Now Kardia getting 2, shutting them both down, putting them downtown, turning around, getting the snub fire for the tertiary down. My man Kardia has done it all in the early goings.
Now Kardia in a beautiful position to have this cross in no man's land, as you're going to see Team Queso go on a troop to this next hill. And it's good for Team Queso as they got it down, right? They're in a great spot, but they have to work together now. Kardia with the patience. That's a great flash to allow the extra damage to come in from his teammates, but a counter flash from Sleeafer as he comes up the mid-map. So much attention on Kardia, but what does it do? What does it equate to? There's even a flank coming in from player 1, but Xploidz goes down. Crack has to win this fight now, and he does. He gets out to a better position. He actually cuts back to help his teammates out, as you will still continue to see Xploidz and Mono able to win the battle. Rebel, they stay in the hill despite Team Queso, you know, really, they had a good fight. They contested them, but it just wasn't good enough for them.
Wasn't good enough just now. You see that 52, the lead has been taken over by Rebel. Rebel's been incredible going into the next possible situation here. And I'm not sure.
It sounds quiet.
I was gonna say it got real quiet.
Yeah, right.
Trying to get a sneak. Kardia was trying to get a sneak kill.
Like,
right.
why is it so quiet? Okay.
And he wanted one. He wanted to pick somebody off before they even got close. That's what it turned out to be. He was just waiting in the wings, tried to help turn and burn on 1. They're gonna get a couple of kills here, but they're gonna get answered back immediately. Problems and Sleeafer are there for a ton of damage and a couple of downs. And early in this setup, it's going to be Team Queso with 2 players in the hill, now dealing with the 4-player retake of Rebel directly in front of him with 1 player playing off toward the middle of the map.
The bow gets no splash damage, inactive in the chamber. He holds it for the last second, and I love that move from him. His opponent was not expecting it, and now Rebel down a man. Got to push in with the numbers that they have. That's a good nade off the top. Forces a player down into the shot grenade, but Cristalize ultimately still in a power position, still able to rain down fire, still able to be a nuisance and get these kills for his team, as Mono is going to be the last one left standing. And Rebel's going to say, Team Queso is going to come through and clean up the kills. Rebel was waiting to get back as a full unit. Now, a new shot grenade going to be picked up, and we're going to the next.
I don't know if that's a good play by them, Blaze. Trading the hills with Team Queso just back and forth. Rebel has to be a little bit more concerted with their effort. One of the things that I'm pretty sure we have to be conscientious of is this next hill is a mid lane. It's a center lane map. SuMuNs is trying to get an early pick here, but he can't get the pickup on the Mono, which will come back to bite his teammates in the back. I mean, that's what I'm so worried about. Is they are just not... They're not winning nobody's winning a rotation here. It's like first team to win a rotation and the next hill wins the map.
Here we go. And the thing is that Rebel's trying to get up in the rotation, right? They're hoping to leave early, get that set up, and even out the scoreline on 1 hill and then start thriving because they understand that they're playing behind. But they're going to have to choose aggression, if you ask me, right? You're going to have to try to force this lead back out of Team Queso, win some big fights, and just allow it to naturally come into their way, come into their favor. But we'll see if that works out, as this should be the hill. They got the power weapon. Oh my! Problems with the nade, and it should be a bow on the ground with at least 2 left in the chamber. Team Queso, they're gonna press forward. try to clear out Mono, and they will be able to. So all 4 players on top of the hill with no Rebel members in sight around them, and there's the 2 bows I was talking about.
See what happens here. First bow revving up toward Cristalize. Misses the shot, though. Kardia gets the angle at the 45. Now the wrap from Problems comes through. They're going to have a 3v3 down here at the hill. 2v3, excuse me, as SuMuNs is about to come off a respawn. Monkyz, if he can get this kill here, that's absolutely huge for his team. Another rotation from Problems, goes for another wrap. Sleeper caught between a rock and a hard place. He's going to get it down, but he's going to get taken out momentarily. And yet again, Blaze, another trade. Hill for hill. You take 1, I take 2, you'll take 3, I'll take 4. This is not the way it needs to go. The next team to win the rotation could come out on top. Next hill, top left-hand side of your map, and Rebel is already there, but they're down by 40 points.
Now, Team Queso, as they are thriving so far on this map, a 40-point lead, nothing to bat a lash out. That's a whole team fight ahead, if you ask me. Maybe even 2 team fights ahead on Reactor. You got Xploidz. He'll win his battle. Plenty of help around him. So with the teammates being close, they should be able to move in, surround both of these players, and not lose anyone in the process. They will allow SuMuNs to slither away, but that's no fault of theirs. SuMuNs, that's a hard player to kill on any map. He'll also rotate back, get the bow. Only 4 in the chamber. Was this spawn with 4 in the chamber, Colin? Or was that on the ground?
It should have been on the ground. I believe it's
okay. Oh, with a quick stick, he takes down Kardia. I'm about to say, I missed that update. Now SuMuNs on the flank with the bow. He's in a great spot. He'll be on that flank in about 4 or 5 seconds. So Rebel knows that they got to push forward. They don't want to take free shots from SuMuNs. You got a team kill coming from Problems, and Rebel's actually going to be winning these fights. SuMuNs is going to wait for help. I don't know if he can wait, though. He needs at least 1 kill. He gets it.
There it is.
He gets another. Oh, it was close.
Oh, I thought he pulled that trigger right there. I said, he's going to get this chunk, and he's going to get a trade, and it's going to make everybody scratch their head. But he's going to get it. This is going to be Team Queso pushing back into the hill. Revive's coming through toward the back edge. They're down under crack. Mono's going to go down as well. Xploidz tries to rotate in. Love the what a shot. Way to wait for that final frame to get the big chunk over the top. Xploidz down on a 1v1. Hits the melee for the final down and the final kill.
That's a hard shot to hit from that angle, too. You know, when you so like close to that cover and not in cover, you know, that was great from Sleeafer. But it's Team Queso who win the fight. But when it comes down to the game of rotations, I do believe Team Queso actually in the advantage having this spawn in the shock. Yes, they are. It's a few points going over towards Rebel, but not for long. As Sleeafer moves in, he's able to clean up 2 kills. Mono by himself, I think he's going to rush Sleeafer on the left and go for a wild shot. He lost that opportunity. I know he wished he had it back, because instead, you got to take a more difficult route. See, no one's as close as Sleeafer was on the edge of that cover. That's why you got to be aggressive in that moment, because as Mono here, he's just like, I don't have a fight that was as good as the one that I just lost. And you got to be quick on that decision making. They got to push through these Lancers now, Colin. They got to try to get around this corner. Or they got to try to, you know, send player 3 around on the flank, but he's being checked up by player 8, so he won't even have time to get there. And Crack knows it. He's like, guys, it's got to come to you. We got to go. We got to force our way through. They have a little advantage, but let's make something happen. It's going to be a 3v2 on the map for Rebel, as they will be able to take down SuMuNs. It is all up to Cristalize.
Cristalize once again finds himself in a bad spot, down by 19. They're going to continue to rack up these points. Only 15 left to go. Now we're going to see the extra shots in. Xploidz is going to back off here, back toward the old hill. Already rotated over. It's a 1v1. I believe this is going to be Sleeafer trying to take a 1v1 against Kardia, but now Kardia is going to get the help from Crack on the 6 o'clock. Beautiful job by Rebel rotating in very quickly. Crack holding on to the torque bow for as long as he can. Doesn't get any splash damage. He's going to have 2 players in front of him. It's the big body shot for the first down. Gets the double shot in for the second down with a teammate. And love has been given out now, Blaze. Just a couple of love taps.
Yeah, some love taps right there. You know, yeah, they're just taps. Just taps.
Not full on love. Just taps. It's like
just taps.
It's like
just taps. Yeah, a little tap, 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 tap. Crack. As he's gonna start moving forward, he's gonna get around this corner. He gets to the bottom of the stairs. I don't think anyone can shoot over the top. Yes, they can. He does have an escape route to get back to his teammates, but he drew a lot of attention his way. Got a lot of time on his heel. 42 seconds. Rebel's gonna have to find a way. Sorry, Queso's gonna have to find a way in soon. Kardia has the angle he wants, but he's not hitting some good shots. Okay, Queso should be able to force their way through the edge. They did. A quick 2v2 as SuMuNs was picked off there towards the back lines. And now you got Mono coming in from the front lines for his team, which equated to a flank there, and Rebel getting the heel back. They have now gotten the lead in this map, Colin. They were down by a good amount. Team Queso, they got to figure out how to stop this bleeding, and it could start now with Problems having a bow on his back. He does have the highest KDA on his team. He does have the highest average damage for Team Queso as well. Problems is the superstar, and he's gonna have to make some superstar plays.
They're gonna need some. They're gonna need a lot of output from their superstars coming up, like Problems, like Sleeafer. Cristalize doing everything he can to try to help out. Problems misses that torque bow there, but rotates over. Good little shot there. Gets the 3 little pellets to get the down. Kardia is gonna be rotating out of that shock. But not much he can really do. There's plenty of time on this hill to come back into this, and 2 players already from Rebel rotating over to the 90 degrees. They want to come straight back into the front side of the spawn. Cristalize, or Problems here, will be looking at Monkyz on the 90 degree, revving up the torque, trying to find a little angle maybe to pick somebody off.
And I will say Problems isn't the superstar on his team, especially compared to the other 3 members that he's playing with. But he is the most consistent player, and he is the most lethal. And he will soon be known as a superstar if he keeps up at this performance, as well as his teammates can play to their potential. Team Queso, as they down by 4 points. Problems moves in, and Problems gets multiple downs, gets a kill, and now his teammates able to move in and clean up that pile. Team Queso, they'll collect on the rest of this time. They should add at least 15 more to the scoreboard. And in that transition, they should be able to give Problems a new bow. They're 50-50 in a spawn as well. This is great positioning from SuMuNs and Co. Even if they can't take the full wide, just being here is a great start.
Looking for the angle here. You can see them pushing into that next spawn, into P3 spawn point. They get the lead back. 70 seconds can't win Rebel the map off of the next hill, but it can certainly get them within impossibility. Cristalize is going to get flashed here. He's going to get pressured by 2. Secondary shot comes out. They're trying to find the angle. Kardia is going to find at least 1 down. Now with secondary down, the revives are coming through in spades for the side of Team Queso, but no kills being traded out just yet. Now finally a trade comes through. But it's going to be Rebel just dominating this side of the map.
I have to give Rebel so much props for that play, because they didn't have to move, all right? But they knew that if they didn't make the first play, their opponent was going to get that bow, and it was going to be a difficult hold. Instead, they said, you know what? We're going to continue to be aggressive with numbers, and that caught Queso off guard. They didn't expect that push to come through. Problems was indecisive. He was like, do I got to go over there? Not. And by the time he got there, his team was already cooked. So beautiful heads-up play from Rebel to take their destiny into their own hands, and now they're thriving for it. They got the bow. Mono says, no, 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 Cristalize, as he comes away with 2, and now Rebel in a beautiful position to close this map out. They still need another heal, though. They can't win it here.
Cannot win it here, indeed, so they're going to have to hold on to this for as long as possible to put the pressure onto the side of Team Queso, and they can do just that. They're going to continue to put out this snub damage, try to stop anyone from getting into the neutralization spot behind that. Down comes through, now looking over the top of that pipe. Won't be able to get the secondary shot for the chunk. They're going to have to worry about the flank. They already get that taken care of. 4v3 on the map right now. Flash gets banked off the wall. That's a beautiful flash off the ceiling, by the way.
Yeah, we don't see that one too often. A for creativity. We've seen a lot of nade angles in our day, Colin.
A ton of them. Good pick, though, by Monkyz. Right in Problems' face. 2 players come over that cover, and Problems doesn't try to challenge either of them. Gives up the shot grenade for free.
Gives it up for free. Now we'll see how detrimental that's going to be for Team Queso. Mono moves in, gets a kill. That's 3 down from Queso. Cristalize, the last one left, and he'll get timed out, having to take his own life. The respawn comes in. They'll kill Cristalize to get the meat shield in. Any other nade that he may have had in his back pocket. They will find the spawns for Team Queso. And they know that no one's even close to this hill. Crack is thriving over here at the bottom of the stairs, winning 1v1 after 1v1. He has a flash to work with. That's a beautiful.
Oh my God, he needed to push.
That's it. That's Rebel coming out on top with the series, 3-1, taking down Team Queso. Crack, your MVP in both control games today. He was the X factor for Rebel, and he comes away with 18k damage, 20k damage for Mono. All right. Multiple confirmed kills up there for Crack. A beautiful team effort from Rebel. And shout out to Reflame as well. It was an entire team effort today.
An entire team effort indeed. Again, just toward the second half of that map, Rebel's so much better about playing close to each other and ensuring kills. They weren't playing for these downs. They weren't playing to try to angle out players. Once they saw a down, they made sure that instead of trying to target the down, they were targeting the secondary player going in for the revive, so that they were just kind of staggering out players having to come into the fight and just put them through the blender. There was really nowhere for Team Queso to go in that map 4, and Rebel does a fantastic job of ensuring their map 4 victory and their 3-1 victory over Team Queso tonight. Just impressive stuff out of Crack and Monkyz and Kardia, Kardia and Xploidz. I mean, especially Kardia. I'm going to say this, Blaze. I usually harp on Kardia a ton.
Yeah, you do.
People say I picked on him a lot last split because I kept saying, look, as long as he can't win 1Vs, they're not going to go very far. He has stepped his game up astronomically from what I've seen this split.
He has, and I have so much respect for him. And he's slowly been doing it over the last few seasons, okay? I've seen a gradual improvement from Kardia ever since he has honestly gotten on this Rebel roster, okay? I feel like, you know, ever since he came back to the team when that last Rebel player, you know, was being an idiot. You know what I'm talking about? And so, you know, Kardia, ever since he got that second chance and he got back on his roster, he has shown everybody that, you know what, this is where I want to be at, okay? I'm good enough to play in this league. I'm good enough to win a championship with this team. And, you know, he has proven himself. And I got nothing but respect for Kardia. And, hey, you got to be scared of this Rebel squad, because as they continue to get more reps with Mono, with Monkyz, they're going to be a threat, okay? You don't got too many voices. You don't got too many superstars on this team. You got 2 main slayers now, definitively. You got Crack, you got Xploidz. One good with Snipe and M-Bar. No, one good with Snipe, one good with Bow. They all good with M-Bar, all right? And don't give Monkyz the drop shot, because he ain't going to miss one. This Rebel team got all the pieces to the puzzle. And at the end of the day, you have to be scared of them as we go into this final major. Wouldn't it be, how crazy would it be if Rebel was a team for LATAM that won that first championship?
It would be a surprise to a lot.
Story.
But, you know, I mean, Ink would be happy, right?
Oh, he would be, yeah. Okay, we wouldn't hear it. We wouldn't hear it. We would hear it every day. Every day to Gear 6. Who was the last champions? It was Rebel, okay? Glenn gonna be in my DMs all the time, like, hey, I hope you didn't forget. I hope you didn't forget. Rebel won the last major. I'm like, I know, dog. Okay, I need a T-shirt now. Where's my Rebel jersey so I can rock it to Gear 6? All right, hell. But yeah, it was a great series. Any closing thoughts on it, Colin?
Incredible series, great 4 maps. Rebel does a fantastic job of controlling the different power weapons, whether it be Torque Bow or Long Shot. But guess what, Blaze? We have got breaking news from the voice of God. Let the people know what we got for them.
Yo, we got Casa de Papel in Fury 1 up in a map 5 on Afira. It is 1-1. Talk about a perfectly timed start, okay? Who's doing a production here, okay? Because they just handed me game 5s. They've been doing this for 2 straight days. I'm done with 1 series. Blaze, here's a game 5. Like, why are we so blessed?
I would say we're so blessed because we get you to be here on cast. I mean, I'm blessed just by having you on broadcast, but we are here on a map 5. Queso, Fury 1, Casa de Papel. Queso and Rebel finished up at 3-1 with the favor of Rebel here on Afira. Early goings, Ventry does have the drop shot. Doesn't have an angle on anybody just yet, but can tell what the point of differential is. Chaos goes for the Torque Bow, whereas Ventry goes for the drop shot. And I like this. They have gotten Chaos as far away from the fight as possible.
Yeah, they have. And Chaos, as he is on the opposite end of the map, but, you know, he's almost like at a crossroads in case he has to rush over towards Bow or he has to rush down low. But from this position, I feel like the neutral hill has to be down low because I don't see any other reason for him to be here, right? Has to go down low. But ultimately, the drop shot is in Ventry's hand, and we see him on the outskirts of the Estamon Hotel on his side of the map, just taking a peek in. The Torque spawn is to his right, over that side of the wall, and if that's where the neutral hill is going to be, you can just shoot that immediate first drop there. And it connects, so he has a great spot. 2 drops to his name. Chaos can't have a factor on it. Won't be able to play a factor on him either in this spot. Yep, there we go. The first hill down low. Now as it starts to break out, we got an active in a chamber. This is what I'm talking about. As we were doing me and Toby was doing what the hell, bro?
He thought somebody was playing the opposite side, the Lancer down toward the hill. That's all he was doing, was hoping somebody was playing the opposite side. Now this one has to convert a kill here. He's going to go over the top into the hill. Misses the shot, though. Goes too wide with it. 2 players from Casa de Papel inside of the hill will get the cap off, and that will be the end of round 1 with Casa de Papel taking a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, great job from Casa de Papel to stay composed all the way to the final seconds. You know, they completed their assignment. You know, they were down in a power weapon battle from bow versus drop shot, and so in the final few seconds, they waited for their opponent to make a mistake, and then from there, they got into the hill. They were able to dodge the drop, and that second drop shot also wasn't an active. That's why no kill comes through, so you got to make sure you have those actives, and it takes time for the active to come back after you shoot the first one. So in the end, you see another trade in power weapons. Fury won. You know, they watched the broadcast yesterday. They're playing heavily for the drop shot. Now outside, you see multiple kills come through for Casa de Papel as they're able to find 2. Now, I posed this question to Toby yesterday, Colin. Would you rather be in a 2v3 with your duo having a drop shot, or would you rather be in a 3v2 with the trio having a bow?
Trio having a bow, and especially in this game, with the way that the overtime hill spawns, you can put that. I mean, we just saw it last round. If that's not enough evidence for anybody, you can dodge a drop shot pretty easily, whereas the active bow, you just continue to stick the middle of the hill, and if somebody's not quick enough to the punch, you just stick them and get the kill. So with the way the active works in this game, with the way that the splash damage and the movement is in this game, I would always take the bow. Adver's not quick enough to the punch, though.
Nah, he's not, and that's a great drop shot from Ventry as well. He's not going to have any more ammo to work with, but the drop shot was picked up fairly quickly off the start of this map, Colin. I think he can honestly play for ammo if he wanted to, be able to be a factor inside. I didn't see what the respawn timer on it was, but I do know we got 25 seconds left, and Chaos is going to stay dead center. Almost stuck his teammate there. It got scary. It's a 1v1 for the win. A shot grenade in the hill. Ventry with just a pistol to his name and his shotty on his back.
You can splash damage just for the kill.
That's short.
You stick the corner. Stick the corner, force him out left.
Oh, that was
double
great.
Flash.
Ooh! Chaos wins these. Oh! He got it. Beautiful straight.
That's a big shot. That's a huge shot to win.
Yeah, and you saw he took this right, like when you see him inside, Ventry hit him with a beautiful shot off his right hand, and he got Chaos full red, but he wasn't fast enough. He gave Chaos a lot of respect, but at that moment, Ventry can't play the pillar close. Beautiful shot, he plays it close. Close on the pillar, close on the pillar. You need close on the pillar. You need distance, you need to play angle. That's where strafe comes into play right there. Continue to play your right, adding a few left-hand shots right there. You win the 1v1 with ease. Now on board with Sleeafer as he's trying to collapse on Jolly. The shots are there. Jolly goes down, and a drop shot will go in the hands of Toady. It's a 2v4. Fury 1 has 2 drop shots to their name. That's not an active. That's not an active. But that's a kill. Toady by himself. That's an active. Oh, that's cover. That's an active. Oh, he got stuck. It was so close. It looked good. If he gets that active and he's able to, nah, he just that bow, a little bit too much right there. Great effort though from Toady. It's gonna be Casa de Papel up 3-0 in execution, Colin. in this map 5 at that.
I'm
Chaos
taking a look at these
5-0.
stats. 5-0 for Chaos. Good gracious. Good God. I mean, look, you and I knew last split that this Abuelos de sus Nietos was incredible.
Yes, they were. Yes, they were. And Ventry with another drop shot. Toady fighting for his life. He's able to take down Xavi, but not for long as Solier and Adverse, they'll pick up 2. Jolly gets taken down, and it's now a 3v1. Ventry with a low active drop. Too deep. Chaos. Will he get his first death? He shall not. Continues to keep the perfect game here for Casa de Papel.
Really, right now, Casa de Papel has done such an incredible job of just keeping Fury back from what they want, from their spots. Fury's trying to get into position to quick pick, you know, kind of that drop, get into the top side of the hotel, and then use the explosions to get these kills. But Casa de Papel, they get the torque out pretty much for free. They're not getting challenged to a point
And they're
where they
finding their
can't get
numbers
up.
quickly, right? They're very decisive on the push. Oh, Solier gets taken out. That's what Fury 1 needed as Aim Boot takes over and gets the first blood. There's a trade for Aim Boot. He gets 2 to start the game off. Adverse in a 1v2 situation, but it's a 1v1, but he took a lot of damage in from the inside. Xavi taking down Jolly. Beautiful kill from him. Adverse can close the gap in time.
You know, if Xavi had found a way to get that secondary kill right there, somewhere Taylor was going to take a picture in front of his monitor. Me and my favorite player ever.
And the caption's going to be, "Hey guys, I saw it live."
Yeah.
Here we go. Round number 6. So far, Casa de Papel, they have a winning strategy, and it's formulated off of aggression. It's off of being decisive. It's off of being confident. They're going to move down and get themselves another bow. They know that they have the numbers for it. Actually, I take that back. On the flip side, it's actually Casa de Papel getting the torque bow this time around. It's Fury 1 switching up their strategy and taking the aggression outside to get the bow. So, flipping power weapons. Now, what can Avers do with these 2 drop shots? Also, Casa de Papel, they're up a man. Ventry got taken out at the front door.
Hold on, go back over to that last player. To player 5. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I was just reading the COG Reclamation Project. That's all. I just wanted to see that.
Oh, shit. I was wondering. I was like, what is it, Colin? Yeah, he got 1 death. That's the damage. He got 4K damage. My brain's going like, what is Colin going to say next? What is my duo going to do? And he's up here reading the damn sign. How did I know that?
Hey, look, brother. Come on now. It's lore. You know.
Yeah, no, I know, right? You know. Did you get anything from it?
Well, I wasn't sure why technically this hotel would be part of the COG Reclamation Program, because this, well, it might not be inside of New Afira. Afira might actually, even though it's set what looks like in the final act of the actual game, it should have technically been inside of New Afira. So I don't know why it wouldn't be, but so stable, because New Afira was, I mean, an absolutely gorgeous city.
Absolutely gorgeous. Maybe in Gear 6 we'll be able to have this looking like a daylight version of Hotel. That's actually kind of Regency, but anywho. Jolly able to pick up a kill. 3v2 situation now turned into a 3v1. Casa de Papel 1 kill away from winning this series in a 3-2 fashion. Ventry exactly 5,000 damage to his name. Oh, that's it though. He comes away with 599 more, but ultimately he needed 1797 and he couldn't get it in the end.
This is your elbow, it's connected to your wrist. It makes a fulcrum for me to hit you like
this.
Yeah!
Rebel coming out on top. Casa de Papel coming out on top as well. Our 2 victors in the first series of the day. You know, you got 2 teams in a red, white, and black, right?
Up, somebody rage quit. Toady, Ventry, Jolly. Who rage quit? Aim Boot. Aim boot. That's why I ain't never gonna say your name right. That's why you aim boot.
I thought it was aim girl or aim gal.
You played bad enough to be aim booty in this map 5. Come on now. That's why you were bottom on the leaderboard.
Dang, Colin don't like people when they lead the game.
I don't like when you rage quit.
Colin wants pristine stats all throughout the league. All right? Just look bad. Finish it off. You got 5 seconds not to show your emotion.
You already took the L. Now just hold it.
Just hold it for 5 seconds.
All you gotta do.
But you got to show your sass and be like, I'm the first one out the lobby.
Look, I will cut an L.
That's when players leave the lobby. That's how I feel. What they do, they be like, I'm out.
I'm out.
I'm mad.
You know what?
Okay?
That's how you should get it for us right now, please. What the voice of God just asked for.
I'm mad. You know what, y'all? Me and Colin, we have had a fantastic time casting this first series, but we out. And coming up next, you're going to have PK versus Northern Forces. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.